Hello, YouTubers. Once again, this is Death Dealer back. I am recording another video about warriors. Um, Last video I just reviewed it. I gave some basic information on damage output, how to control or how to calculate the damage output of your warriors. Again, just a brief recap on that. You want to look at your warrior damage. So it says damage per second down here at the bottom. I have a statue bonus. Add that together if you have a statue bonus, but take that damage, multiply it by how many ever warriors you have, and then multiply that number, so whatever their damage is altogether, you multiply that number by how many seconds you have on your shock bomb. And that's really the critical drop-off point for how effective your warriors are going to be in battle, and I'll show you why. So I'm actually going to use my guild challenges here. Some people have some bases that they've put up for a friendly challenge. So I don't lose any units doing this. And this is a great way to practice. I would definitely recommend it. So I'll basically just use this base over and over again. He's got a pretty interesting base setup here. So damage output 140. I know my guys do about 137 damage. So another thing, I didn't really touch on this too much, but your GBE. I have a fair amount of GBE. Let's see, and you can tell your gunboat energy by going over here, clicking information, and it tells you. So there's my GBE. Depending on how much GBE you have, or gunboat energy, I'm just going to use GBE. Depending on how much of this you have, really determines how many shock bombs you can throw, how many smoke bombs you can throw, and that's really the only good way to use warriors. Or very early on in the game, you can use warriors like when you first unlock them. Some people's bases are low enough that you can use them with just shocks. I wouldn't recommend it. Just wait for the smoke bomb. When you get the smoke bomb, it becomes critical to getting into a base. And if you're not familiar with this at all, I'll go over it. You can kind of throw a smoke bomb, and basically you keep your guys under cover. The smoke bomb essentially keeps warriors from attacking. It keeps all units from attacking, but so including your units. Basically, your units don't attack, and their units don't attack. So like these machine guns, these machine guns won't attack you, whatever. Nothing will attack you when you're under the cover of smoke. So essentially, you want to group your units together and keep them in a group, and that's kind of what I'm going to talk about, is how to keep warriors in a group and how to get them to where you want them without wasting all of your GBE, because you want to have enough GBE, again, to effectively shock bomb a base. Now this base, I went over in my last video, flamethrowers are absolutely devastating to warriors, and this flamethrower is obviously in range of this base, and so is this one. So that's our main concern here. This shock blaster, which is kind of a newer unit if you've been playing for a while, the shock blaster does a good amount of damage to warriors as well. It kind of chews through them. This is one of the only other concerning components to an effective attack, is a shock blaster, and obviously this guy has 2 EMPs, so this is a really high level base. I need a few EMPs to effectively attack this base, and this is why I'm showing you this base, because if you don't have enough GBE when you attack, after using your smoke bombs to get into place, and by into place I mean on the headquarters, you want all your guys clustered on the headquarters, waiting to go, and then once that smoke wears off, you EMP right before it wears off, and then again that 8 seconds you get, or whatever time frame you have on your EMP, that time frame is basically, you want to be able to kill the base in that time frame. If you can't, then you're going to end up taking a lot of damage, taking a lot of loss from that attack. And you could get away with it. You could end up winning and, leaving with 1 guy, 2 guys, 4 guys. I've done it before. I've seen it. It happens. It's awesome when you win. when there's only one guy left, but it also kind of debilitates you for a while. Well, at least 15 minutes. That's what I do like about warriors. They only take 15 minutes to respawn an entire army of warriors. So that's also one of the reasons I like them. But anyway, getting off topic, let's go ahead and attack Mad Pierre here. I attacked him earlier. You can see I won. So another main thing, a lot of the time, bombs are not a huge concern. When this guy is this high of a level, bombs are a concern. So what I'm going to do is, again, GBE is critical here. Make sure you have enough. I have over 70 GBE, and I can just shoot bombs like this. But basically, you want to be very careful about how you use this stuff. I should have went over how I'm going to attack this base, but I'll show you now what we're going to do. What I usually do if units are very close to the beach like this, I smoke on the beach. And then I'm basically going to run a straight line up this way and then just cross over to that headquarters, because everywhere else, there's bombs everywhere. And I don't want to waste all my GBE trying to get rid of bombs. I want to take the path of least resistance here with the least amount of bombs. So I'm going to flag up here. You don't always have to flag to the HQ. You want your guys to just stay in a nice little cluster. And then when we get them up here, what we can do now is, I have two choices. I can smoke the base, or I can just move my guys over and start EMPing stuff. And if I do that, I need to be ready to basically kill this base. So as you can see, they're attacking, they're taking out the base. I threw an extra bomb in there, but I want to show you this base because that's how powerful warriors are. I lost a lot of guys, but it kind of gives you an idea. My guys are rated to do, I think when I calculated my damage, it's like 137. If you saw that base, it was 140 health. And as you could see in that battle, I ran out of time. I ran out of time on my EMP, but even with that loss, you still end up having enough time that, or at least the guys don't die fast enough that you lose all of your dudes and the time it takes to kill that base. So there's a lot of things that can get you a win with warriors. As you can see, there's only 50 seconds left in this video. It's a very fast win with warriors, and that's what I do like about them. We're going to slow this down. So again, here, this is a critical point. I already used smoke grenades to get them in this position, and I've already used a flare. So this is all GBE that I'm consuming. There are a lot of attacks. I'm going to have to make another video for this, but to better explain how to use smoke. But basically, it's all about GBE management. If you know you got to use 5 smoke grenades to get up to a position like this, where you're not actually on the HQ, but you've effectively managed to avoid all these bombs, then you might want to do what I did here in a second, and that's just not even smoke the HQ, because normally if I have enough GBE, what I would do is smoke the HQ and then flag again on the HQ, let them cluster around the HQ like they are around this piece, so that as soon as that smoke wears off, they're doing damage. But since I needed that GBE to use on everything else to use my shock bombs, I decided I'm just going to waste as little GBE as possible. I'm just going to throw a single flare. There goes the flare. Move them over, and then immediately shock bomb. So this is kind of an advanced technique here. You don't always want to do this. It's kind of circumstantial. And again, before I was talking about machine guns not doing much damage, you can see it's really not doing a whole lot of damage back here. They're kind of healing through that. If you're paying attention up here to this machine gun's damage, it's really not doing anything to warriors. The flamethrower, on the other hand, is just decimating them. So again, a little bit on damage there, you can see, and then that shotgun does a lot of damage to warriors as well. Obviously, the rocket launchers do as well, but they're they take their time and they kind of spread their damage, so it gives warriors time to heal up. I also threw a health pack on them. Again, GBE management. You have to know the limits of your GBE. It's super critical to getting an effective warrior attack. So I'm going to end this video. It's getting kind of long, and then we'll do another video a little bit more about smoke management, GBE management, and kind of getting your warriors where you want them to go.